Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. So today a bit of news. We can start doing these bits of news if we ever get the chance from the Aviation Geek Club. Sorry for the pussycat noises in the background, that's just pick. So this is an exciting piece of news that we thought we'd better cover because it is cool. USAF officially buys F15EX and initiates its first fourth generation fighter program in more than 20 years. They're kind of going backwards, which is kind of good and exactly what we want if you're our kind of aviator. Back to the old school BVR, dogfight, don't give a shit about stealth or not much of a shit about stealth. Fire as many missiles as you can and get in as many gunfights as you can and drop as many bombs as you can. Let's just read through this. All credit goes to this website. Obviously, the USAF announced that it will be sole source 2 contracts, one for the F15EX and one for its F110 engines. The USAF initiating its first fourth generation program in more than 20 years. The service, in fact, is moving forward with plans to purchase a new variant of the combat-proven Boeing F-15 Eagle fighter jet. Did Boeing buy McDonnell Douglas?
Yes.
The Air Force Life Cycle Management Center intends to award a sole source, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract to the Boeing company for a refresh of the F-15CD fleet and augment the F-15E fleet. So let's pick that apart. What does that mean?
Does that mean they won't be new airframes, or are they going to be new airframes?
Like they're going to be upgrading existing airframes.
How interesting. Because we thought they might be making airframes from scratch, but maybe not then.
It's more expensive to do that.
Right, so they're going to be probably tearing them apart, refitting new parts to keep them going longer and unmodifying them. How interesting. One solicitation reads, the Defense Department expects a response from Boeing by 7th of Feb. Okay. The second notice claims that another IDIQ contract with the same response due date to General Electric Aviation to provide F110 propulsion systems to meet the F-15EX weapons system requirement will be awarded to the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center. So it almost certainly is that they're taking old C's and certainly E's, and modifying them up to the EX standard, at least taking the E's. The USAF wants at least 8, interesting. The USAF wants at least 8 new F-15 4 plus generation variants in its inventory. Only 8. How interesting. In December, Congress signed off on the plan, but with a caveat. The service requested basically $1 billion for 8 aircraft, but lawmakers are limiting the buy to just 2 at first, according to the fiscal 2020 Defense Appropriations Bill. So that's as clear as mud, basically. Of the funds provided in the aircraft procurement/Air Force for the remaining 6 F-15EX aircraft, no more than a lot of money, $65 million for long lead materials may be obligated until the Secretary of the Air Force submits a report regarding the program's strategy and future schedule, the bill stated. Current F-15C/Ds are beyond their service life and have serious structures risk, I know all about that, wire chafing issues and obsolete parts, the USAF said in March last year. The service added that readiness goals cannot be achieved because of the aging aircraft's repairs, modernization efforts, and structural inspections. The high-profile deal spikes the interest of many as the F-15EX is brought while F-35 purchases are in full swing. The EX is probably cheaper in use, and since the USAF already has a full Eagle infrastructure, the EX is easy to incorporate in current squadron operations. I've just read what the thing says. Does anyone understand if they're making new jets?
Sounds like
they're making new ones.
Yes, they're making new ones. It says augment the fleet, not augment the jet.
Well,
they just stated
implement.
And they've actually paid in full for 2 to be built.
Instead of doing that, they went kind of in the middle and decided to do an EX program, which is the E version, and then update all the other ones. So instead of building new jets, it sounds like they're going to kind of upgrade everything, and that's like a middle ground, because the guys who want the F-35 didn't want this aircraft at all. They don't want the money spent there.
I do. I think it's awesome.
Oh, so do I. A lot of people do. It's just the F-35 people are.
So, quick question in regards to that. I remember the F-15EX program that was supposed, the big 24 AMRAAM aerial artillery piece. Is this supposed to fulfill the X and be the air-to-ground aircraft in one
package? It is.
Yeah, that's what all the pictures.
And we're going to investigate that now, guys. If you need to follow me on the stream, or we'll give the link somewhere. So let's have a little look at this EX program then, which is going to be interesting. So the cost-effective, ready solution. This is all spiel from Boeing, so you take it with a pinch of salt. But in support of the National Defense Strategy, the USAF must purchase an additional 24 combat aircraft per year. F-15EX is the only way, presumably because 24 per year are dying off due to age and whatnot. F-15EX is the only way to rapidly and affordably meet the Air Force's critical requirements. And note again, this is not official, this is just from Boeing. Boeing's F-15EX is the most cost-effective, ready and advanced solution to meet the USAF Air Force capacity requirements and add the capability to the fleet. Driven by Boeing's active production line, the next generation jet, which is not next generation, is it? It's 4+. Enables pilots and mechanics to transition in a matter of days as opposed to years, while delivering unmatched total life cycle costs. I think we'd probably agree with that. This page provides the information you need for the F-15EX. We invite you to sign up and blah, 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 blah. The advanced solutions. So let's have a little look here. The F-15EX leverages $5 billion in technology investments by Boeing, presumably, over the past decade to bring the USAF the world's most modern variant of the undefeated F-15. Complementing other aircraft, the F-15EX enhances the air combat capabilities of the fleet to ensure the US remains ahead of current emerging threats. With next-generation technologies to provide unrivaled capabilities in a broad spectrum of environments, the F-15 delivers more payload capacity and blah, 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 blah. So, first of all, advanced cockpit system. Let's have a look at that. I've got a pretty bad view from where I am here, but what it says is 21st century cockpit provides real-time access, battlefield information, and enhances the pilot's understanding of the environment, reduces workload, speed decision-making, and enhance. Have we got any decent pictures of this cockpit anywhere? It's going to be basically a giant glass cockpit with no steam gauges anywhere, but I'll try and get a better picture of that in a minute. We've got a 1 minute video here, and I've had a quick look through. It's not anything particularly useful, to be honest. It's just a...
From what I see, it seems to be based off the Elbit Systems cockpit redesigned for the F-15.
Okay, this video is not the EX.
Full fly-by-wire, modern digital displays, and helmet-mounted sights.
Yeah. So we'll go through that. Just got some pictures here if you're interested. These are just paintings or digital paintings. I noticed the new engines have got the I've got the nozzle guards on them. I was thinking, how long will they last before the mechanics just leave them off like they did on the old Pratt & Whitneys? And they're quite funny. Right, next we're going to go to enhanced sensors. And again, this is all just spiel, but aggregate sensor data from 360-degree view of the battlefield space. I'm guessing that means SA. Fused onboard, offboard data enables simultaneous monitoring of multiple sensors, data sources, provides enhanced situational awareness. So yes, we'll just SA, isn't it? Unrivaled payload, unmatched payload, weapon station capacity of 30,000 pounds. That is a lot. I'll give it that. Payload supported by 12 certified air-to-air hardpoints and 15 certified air-to-ground hardpoints. That's not together, obviously. That's overlapping. So we can carry essentially 12 AMRAAMs there.
Supposed to carry 20.
Yeah, well, I believe that was not the EX, was it? That was what they call the X. But this is, well, for all intents and purposes.
Well, there's a photo on the EX that has 16.
What it probably means by 12 certified hard points wise is actual physical points on the aircraft and not like extensions on different rails.
There's actually some conformal compartments that are going to be weapons compartments.
Interesting.
Similar to conformal tanks.
Interesting. Okay, we'll have a closer look at that. Enhanced engines. New, more powerful twin engines provide the F-15EX with unrivaled. Amazing how they just say stuff and not give us any data. Are these GEs, JD? And they're not the same, but we think they're very similar to the 129s in the 16, about 29,000 pounds static sea level thrust, so it's going to give it nearly 60,000 pounds of thrust. We're talking kind of F-15B kind of thrust levels, which is amazing. Because, well, it depends how heavy the airframe is. I don't know how heavy the airframe is yet. But enhanced survivability. Fully integrated electronics warfare suite provides full spectrum protection against blah, 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 blah. Automated countermeasures for enhanced survivability.
In the X, it said they're going to be using a built-in Legion pod carrying the infrared search track system and for stealth aircraft. And they're going to replace the TEWS with a passive active warning surveillance system, an EPAWS.
Yeah, it's EPAWS, isn't it? Roger.
What this honestly sounds like, if you look back not that far back in history, around the early 2000s, this sounds like what they're trying to do with the F-14D variants, like the ones that were supposed to be fresh off the factory, but because of costs and other issues, they stopped it. But it looks like they're doing the same concept to the F-15 now that the funding has gone up with our military.
So digital fly-by-wire. Now, interesting thing about the F-15 is it never really had fly-by-wire. Certainly in the olden days. Now, I certainly don't know the details. I know it had augmentation, obviously, but my understanding it was a pre-fly-by-wire aircraft, and it had a certain amount of static stability, say opposed to a Hornet and an F-16. This is full digital fly-by-wire, as you'd expect now on a 2020 aircraft. Let me just read this. Full fly-by-wire controls improve reliability and maintainability by a factor of 5 and increase the pilot's mission engagement capabilities. Yeah, so that makes sense to have that. It's an EX, obviously, so it's a twin-seater, if that was a question. World's fastest mission computer, they keep talking about this. The ADCP, Advanced Display Core Processor, which is probably already out of date. It's probably less powerful than my computer here by now. Mission computer processes 87 billion instructions per second to provide, does that mean it's 87 gigahertz? Instructions per second to provide real-time access to battlefield information and increase the pilot's combat effectiveness. So it's got a decent computer on it, finally. Enhanced weapons carriage. Added weapons stations 1 and 9 provide increased air-to-air and air-to-ground capability. Today's F-15 can carry up to 30,000 pounds of payload, which is genuinely impressive. And active electronically scanned array radar, so AESA. I think it's always had an AESA, hasn't it? Or maybe I've got that wrong. I can't remember. The most powerful operational radar in use today, the F-15's AESA radar provides unsurpassed processing power, superior situational awareness to defeat tomorrow's threat. I'm just going to try and digest this F-15 specifications. So this is from all eras. We've got a weight of 45,000 pounds with a max of 81,000 pounds. Max speeds 2.5. So the A, B, C, and D air-to-air have the AMRAAMs, have the missiles that we're all used to. The E has precision-guided munitions, variety of missiles and bombs, F-15 air-to-air cannon, and so the E's got 8 medium and short-range missile stations. The advanced F-15, which must be this EX, is 12, quoted here, 12 air-to-air missiles and 24 air-to-ground munitions. Obviously, you're going to have rack multipliers and whatnot. So here I'm hearing 12.
So is that saying 12 period, or is that saying there's 12 hard points open to the air-to-air missile?
Well, the exact quote for the EX, it said there was 12 air-to-air missiles. That was the quote. It didn't say whether it can have bags on or not, but I'm going to have to assume it does have bags, or can have bags. I've got IRST, infrared search and track, on the lower nose of the aircraft. This isn't in any of the existing F-15s, is it? Or is it?
No. Is there a picture of it?
There is. It's on my stream at the moment, and I'm assuming this is the EX version. It says IRST, infrared search and track. I'm guessing for air-to-air, but I don't know. It's interesting.
That's what it says. It's to detect stealth aircraft.
Oh, right. So how about that? So it's basically the same thing you're going to get in a flanker and a MiG-29 about 30 years ago, I suppose. Right. So
I'm going to hop on the stream real quick to see that, or I can Google it myself, because it sounds very familiar to what was on the bottom of the D variant of the Tomcat.
It's in exactly the same place, interestingly. It looks different, the actual object, but it is in the same place. Okay.
It sounds like they're using they're not going to use old airframes. They've stated earlier in the article that the airframes currently in service are old and are at risk of failing. So it sounds like they're going to make a whole new airframe, and then with the existing inventory of parts, are going to use older parts to keep the cost reasonable, while still implementing the new technology.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the way I read it is the C's and D's are going to go, the E's will stay, and then slowly upgrade.
Got some pictures, and because they're retards, they've managed to put it upside down. So well done, Boeing.
Here's a picture of the EX with that's showing a quad rack with 2 on the wing. And it can carry 4 on the belly, so it's 4, 8, 10, 14, 16 missiles on that.
Well, I don't think that's what I mean, I've got the EX here. I've got on the wings. I've got I don't really know how to describe this, but 2 times triple racks on the wings plus conformal, and we've got weapons here. Weapon station 9, 8, right conformal, left conformal, 5, 2, and 1. AMRAMs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Definitely 12 AMRAMs. Sidewinders. So this is or. So this is or basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sidewinders. Jump on the stream, you'll see what I'm seeing. AGM harpoons, AGM 84 harpoons, we can have 2. Slammers, we can have 2. AGM 65 Mavericks, we can have 1, 2, 6 on 2 times triple pylons. AGM 88 harms, we can have 4. The GBU 105, I don't know what that is. Sensor fused weapon, never heard of it before.
CBU 105 probably.
Oh, my apologies, I read that wrong. CBU 105. You can have a lot. I don't fully understand how many we can have there. But a lot. Taurus, never heard of it, but it looks like the JSOW, I think. You can have
It looks like the glide bomb right there in the image above.
It's not glide, it's propulse. It's like a cruise missile, like 400 miles range. Bunker buster.
Wow. Okay, hardcore. Okay, we've got the old style GBU 10, 12, and 24 paveways, and we can have a shodload of them. So the GBU 12, the 500 pounder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 GBU 12. A GBU 28. I don't know. Anyone know what a GBU 28 is? I'm such a noob nowadays. I don't. Well, always have been.
Looks like a big laser guided bomb.
No,
Yeah, it's what we use to collapse bunkers, like the golf.
It's 5,000.
5,000 pound thump bunker. Okay.
Ouch. I know the F-11 and the F-15 can carry it.
Oh wow! How about that?
And the B-1.
And the B-1. Wow, amazing. GBU 31, which is 2,000 pounder, and the Blue 109 JDAM. So they're big fatties. Yeah, G31. So these are JDAMs, aren't they? Yep, sorry, I'm with it now. 2,000 pounder. We can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 GBU 31s. That's a lot of payload. You got what, 4 in a Hornet? GBU and GBU 32, which is Mark 83. We've got the same. GBU 38, which we're all aware of. 1, 2, 3 plus 12 is 15. 15 GBU-38. Who could have the fuel range to actually launch that many bombs?
It's saying that the new Eagle will come with 2 F-110GE 129E engines.
Oh, so they are 129s then?
Yeah, it says the jet will be able to operate 1,000 miles from base for 2 hours.
Right, so it's got F-16 engines in it, probably just to keep them universal and keep the cost down. Check this, small diameter bomb, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3 is 12 plus 16. 12 plus 16, anyone? 28.
Jesus,
28 GBU 39s. GBU 54, Mark 82 laser JDAM. I don't know, a lot. GBU 56 laser JDAM. I guess we're going to get them in DCS at some point. A lot. And a Mark 82 JDAM ER. Never even heard of it. Extended range JDAM. I guess with propulsion. I don't know.
It's a JDAM with the glide wings from a JSO.
Seems like just less drag.
How interesting, guys. Right. So that's that then. So you got a vast quantity of stuff. So yeah, officially you can have 12 AMRAMs or sacrifice them for other stuff. But that's still pretty good. I mean, how many times have you ever...
4 racks.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've got an invalid... You must have an invalid fantasized picture. Because it's definitely...
from Boeing.
Oh. Is it the EX or is it the X?
No, they have the new it's a new rack that carries 4 AMRAAMs apiece, and now they carry 4 under the belly. So just that is 12, right?
So we've got, I mean, you know, this may or may not be a real picture, but it gives us the idea. It is just, now I'm not a glass cockpit man, as you all know, but this is weird. I guess the stream can see it. It's just, the whole cockpit is just one screen. You can see that on the stream.
I'm pretty sure what they aren't showing you is down there, like in between his legs, are going to be like backup analog
dials.
gauges.
Yeah, I mean the 16. Yeah, I mean the come on guys, what's it called? The does the JF-17 have backup gauges? I can't remember. So many planes.
I'm pretty sure the F-35 might have the same layout, like all giant screens in front.
I mean, this isn't. I don't think this is even an F-15. If you look at the nose, an F-15 doesn't have its pitot there, but. Okay, it might just be a mock-up picture or something, but so it is basically probably almost certainly going to be this one big glass screen as you've got here. So you've got your flight instruments on the left, you've got your UFC kind of in the slightly left there, a whole bunch of weird stuff at the top there, and your moving map and your mission processing stuff on the right there. Thoughts on the big screen, guys?
It'll be interesting to see it.
Okay, that's the way it's all going. Obviously, don't crack it, whatever you do. Cool. Okay. So that's it. Let's wrap up with final thoughts on the Auntie's buzzing me, which usually means something's wrong. PDF of Taurus. What was the Taurus, guys?
The cruise missile.
Wow, look at it. I got it on a Eurofighter. Auntie sent it to me on a Eurofighter. It's
a German production currently used mainly on the Tornado.
Jesus, it's massive. It's as big as a friggin' aeroplane. So this is the powered. Was this the powered glider? Well, it's not a glider, obviously, but you know what I mean. This is the powered big.
No, it's powered, yeah.
Yeah.
500 kilometers range.
Wasn't there like an earlier version of, because that glider, or like the frame of it, excuse me, looks very similar to the one that the Vigan uses.
Yeah, it looks like a BK-90 almost.
It does look like a BK-90, doesn't it? It's absolutely enormous. Range, mass, it's 1.4 tons. 1.4 tons. God, missiles are getting big. Warhead, half a ton. So that is a Mark 83. Hang on, let me get this right. That's a 1 ton. That's 2,000 pounds. Whatever a 2,000 pound bomb is, basically a Mark 84, I think. So that's a heavy thump mugger.
There's a picture of F-15 down in that corner of that PDF you're looking at.
Yeah, Roger. I can't zoom in. Oh, yes, I can. Very good, guys. I think we've gone into. I think we've got a good flavour of what it's all about. We'll wrap up with our general thoughts. I think good. I've never been. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great to see an F-22 Raptor at air shows and stuff, and I'm sure it's very good and everything. But I think it's much more sustainable to have something, an Air Force with something like an F-15EX in there. Plus, I'm obviously a massive fan of the F-15, so I'm obviously biased. But I think it's great to see it. I think it's cheaper, and therefore they'll actually be, allowed to use it. And it's lovely to have it upgraded for the 2020s, really. Thoughts, next person?
Well, the add-on to that, the F-22 was never really designed to the point where it was supposed to be a frontline fighter. It was more of, the masses. Well, at the time, right, that the F-22 really took to show. Your aircraft like the F-15, F-16, F-14, and then the F-18 that got introduced would be your frontline aircraft with the F-22 in your back pocket as like the ace up your sleeve.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I was never aware of that. So you've got different layers, if you like, of USAF.
And this kind of looks like, instead of giving them everything they wanted with the F-15EX and going all out for a whole new fighter, they kind of went down the middle of the road and said, okay, we'll give you this and we'll just upgrade what we have and fix what we have. And
works. I mean,
that's 104 aircraft, so we can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, like they keep saying, it's a proven airframe. And like any airframe, it obviously gets old and it becomes unusable at some point. That's just how metal works.
The entire infrastructure to support it.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't change, keep the basic thing the same, you've got a bunch of tooling, you've got a bunch of guys already trained up, slight modification. It makes perfect sense to me on a cool airframe.
The F-16 is going down the same route, by the way. Lockheed was coming out with a whole new airframe for the F-16.
Mm-hmm. And is that going to be a kind of extended life version as well? As in, is it going to
Oh yeah, it's essentially the same concept. Make it more like a lot smarter, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Any final thoughts from anyone else?
Can I send you like it's a tweet from Boeing's
Roger.
Yeah, they say they'll fly them in pairs. They'll be paired up with an F-35 or an F-22, and the stealth plane will be way out front, and the F-15 will be like a flying armory, and the stealth plane will be able to request launch from the F-15. I don't know how that would work exactly, but
so to add on to that, it's funny that you went there. The F-35 and F-22 are, if used in the more advanced air-to-air modes. So there was a post that was put out by Lockheed a while back about how a 4-ship of F-35s could track up to like 200 targets independently. And they can be up on the front line, see the target, call the target, and then something. So this is back when the F-15EX was supposed to be the new F-15 with its 24 AMRAAMs, is literally like an aerial artillery piece.
Yeah.
So the F-35s can be up there, calling targets, and with their mixture of stealth and advanced sensors, can see targets, track them, and they essentially are a fighter AWACS, if you will, with the F-15X in the back, just fox 3ing from a distance.
With AIM-120Ds or something from 70 miles away or something. That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And
So
then even the missiles can be handed off in
well,
midair.
that begs that question, and probably no one will have an answer. But how much control does the stealth fighter have of the F-15's missile? Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't that be interesting?
It doesn't have the control of it. It's more of once the missile launches. It's the same. If you step back and look from a more analog perspective, it's very easy to explain with, like, for example, the Phoenix. It has an antenna on the back. So if you fire in TWS, essentially you're updating the missile's INS to tell the missile to go to a general location before it goes pitbull. The same concept will apply. So as the F-15 is firing it off, it's data linked with the F-35. The F-35 is transmitting either to the missile or to the 15, depending on where the missile is in correlation to both of them, updating its, INS, if you will, to say, hey, I need you to fly in this general location. Then the missile will go pitbull and engage a target on its own.
Interesting. Also, interesting here, I'm looking at, I don't know if you can see this, a mock-up of the EX cockpit from the rear seat. You can see they've both got the thumping great display there. You can see, yes, there are some backup instruments down below as well, and you can see exactly what he's got on the rear. You can see the rear guy's got the big moving map for his overall situational awareness, his SA. On the right, he's got the attack radar. Bottom right, can't tell what that is, some kind of engine information or something, I'm not sure. Bottom left, he's got the stores page, almost like the old SMS. Top left, I can't tell what that is. The top left, I don't know if anyone could see that. It's like a circle. I'm not sure what that is.
That looks like your SA page.
That's maybe the SA page. Maybe this big map kind of puts it all together. Maybe it's something that can take from your radar, take from your SA page, take everything, and your navigation.
Weapons right below that, and then your radar on the upper right.
Yeah, so you've got completely different displays. I see the pilot's got what we think is probably the SA up there, and something down there. So all very interesting. Interesting. Now, I'm not a glass cockpit kind of guy, but it is kind of cool. I'll give you that.
They got their own IMAX, experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite cool, actually, because it's like 360, isn't it? Cool. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off now because this will last forever and I need time to put it together. Thank you, everyone, for contributing. It's very exciting, and see you later.